guys want to pick us down from there?
How about I do that? You okay? I'll do that one. Oh. Uh-oh. My nose is big at this range, but that's fine.
What do you think of the draw?
It's fine. I mean, thought there was a chance we'd play in Louisville, but I thought it wasn't slim. It was none, but because that would have been like, wow, they got the. No, not happening. But that's fine. I mean, this thing is a lot of good teams. I mean, the teams in our little corner of the bracket, like one beat us, the other team is the one you knew, like, wait a minute. And then Abilene, I don't know that much about, but if they're in, my guess is they shoot threes, which means that if they make 20, we lose the first round. I mean, it's at this time of the year, one and done, but look, we've used the year to prepare these guys for this tournament. And the stuff that we just went through, you know, where you have your chances and a couple things happen out of your control, a couple things happen in your control, and all of a sudden you drop a game. What a great lesson going in. I remember 2012, up, and then with 4 or 5 minutes to go, we let go of the rope and lose. Best thing that happened in 2012. So we'll see.
Now, was Walker one of those things you were talking about yesterday when you mentioned that
The guys acted like you have somebody on the TV. I said, okay. He and I have not spoken. No, he would. Come on, do you think Mitch would say anything about anything? No, Mitch got those white shoes on. Believe me, he ain't talking to me about anything like that.
one more thing about Louisville. You would have been the number 2 seed there. How would you have felt if you were the number 1 seed, say, playing number 2 Duke in Charlotte?
Well, when I was at Memphis, we played Texas A&M in Houston, and then we played Texas in San Antonio, and we were the higher seed. So it happens against me, but
There's a chance you could go Kansas.
really, I haven't even looked, so I don't know. You're telling me stuff. Look, every team right now, it's who's playing well, who's fresh. You know, you got some teams beat up a little bit, and you're just trying to survive game to game, going to the next. These kids are so young. I already started talking to them a couple weeks ago about how you don't watch games because you don't need anything other than what you got at hand. And you got to have that free mind. Any anxiety of watching games is stupid, is wasted. Teams that you think you may play end up getting beat. So it's stay in the moment. You know, last year we had a heck of a run. The year before we had a heck of a run. Both games we had a chance of winning in the dancing, and came down to the last play or two. And this team is, you know, reaping out the way Nick and EJ played in the first half. Emmanuel's gotten better. So it's Jamal didn't have a chance, but I told him you're gonna have a chance in this tournament. And the main reason is because I know I can put him in because he can guard, and he's engaged with our team defensively. And I said, you get in the game and go do something. It's crazy. All of a sudden, everybody's talking about you, but you got to be ready.
You were talking yesterday about one rebound and then maybe scoring. I wonder, going forward, you're probably going to be in that situation again, losing throughout some of the lesson of, we'll get that rebound next time.
Yeah, hopefully Reed doesn't get 3 tough foul calls. All 3 of them really tough foul calls, which took him out of the game. He would have been in the game, and I imagine he would have got that. You know, but it's the other guys. Like, you got to fight. I mean, it's a dog fight, and you give them credit. I mean, they kept giving them foul shots, but guess what? They kept making them. Then the kid makes that corner three, Williams, shows how mentally and physically tough he was. Not just physically, throwing his body, flopping all over the place, getting fouls called, and get charges were blocks and all the shit. It didn't matter because he made foul shots and he made that three in the corner. We had a couple turnovers that were, you know. So I even told him, I mean, when I look at the stats, I can't believe we lost that game. Now I watch the tape, I don't know why, but I did not. You look at stat line, how in the world how did we lose that? And until you had a charge call, the walk call, the step out of bounds, who stepped out? Our guy stepped out, their guy stepped out. Those 3 turnovers put us at 11. We had 8 turnovers against that team. Come on. That's why I said I feel good going in. Let's go, let's play the games. Not even unhappy we're playing on Thursday because we didn't play this afternoon. Let's play on Thursday. So.
Do you think taking the team with a little bit of an edge into the tournament that counts?
No, everybody's going to have an edge. Everybody's playing for their life and survival. It's just, can the team go back to their training? You can't play up to the tournament. You know why? Because you can do that in 15 minutes. You can't play up to the opponent because you can do that for 15 minutes. You got to play to your training. You play to your conditioning. And that you can do for 40 minutes. And if you can play for 40 minutes, you'll have a chance to win every game you play. You may not win them all because there's so many other factors that are involved in it. But you put yourself in the best position to win if you can play 40 the way your team is capable of playing.
How do you get them to play to their training when you're talking a bunch of freshmen and even Reed, who
hard.
hasn't been in this?
It's hard. It's hard. I mean, but that's, you just talk about it. I was in huddles. Play to the training. How do we make that play? What kind of play are we making there? We've done it 1,000 times. Play to the training. Don't do what you want to do. Don't do what you did in high school. It does not work here. And that's where you're coaching. You take a guy out, you coach him immediately. Is that the training? Is that what we know? Well, why did you do that? You can't be in on that. And then you put them back in and they understand. But it's a process when you have young guys.
It's pretty obvious telltale signs right out of the gate that they're not playing to their training.
No, it's a lot of times it's, as the game goes on and they get a little tired. Now, you know, I even said, you know, we kind of rode Ashton, and now he gets tired that last minute and a half, 2 minutes, you know. So we rode him because we went high pick and roll, and it was like, oh, they can't guard. We just kept doing it. Well, that was him. So.
Do you feel better just being able to get a couple of games under Reed's belt before entering this tournament and how he looked?
Oh yeah, would have been hard without him playing the game. Would have been like, that was my word. He played good both games.
At the end of the first half, did you really draw a 3-pointer at the buzzer for your 6'8" guy who's down to you?
We did. Well, it was either a layup or that shot.
Why him?
Because of who was guarding. So that guy, the wrong guy guarded, they'd switch. This is basketball that you guys, most of you know nothing about, but it's, if the right guy's guarding them, they'll stay too long and they can't switch and you throw it back to the shoot.
Is there something you want shored up with this group before Thursday?
Play to the
Do
training.
you feel good about
Play to
where
the training. I just told a couple of the guys they need conditioning. We'll be off tomorrow, so they'll do individual work. And I said some of you guys need to get conditioning in. Maybe I'll, at the end of their individuals, we'll walk through Abilene because I got to watch tape and see them before I can do all that. But we'll maybe do that. Tuesday we practice here. After the game Tuesday we fly. We're out. So we'll get down there. We'll practice down there on Wednesday. And then Thursday we play.
How dangerous are the other SEC teams in school?
All of them. I mean, this league has prepared everybody, and it really didn't beat anybody down. They were all challenges. What I mean by that, no one was getting beat by 30. They were all 1 and 2 and 4-point games. A missed shot here, a play here. Our games were that way. Florida's games were that way. Mississippi's games were that way. Mississippi started playing well. You're talking Tennessee, Auburn lost a couple, and then at the end got it going. I mean, so, and those were close games. I mean, our game with Auburn was close. So, and I'm missing somebody else. LSU. I mean, how many close games were they in? I think they won 6 games at the buzzer, or overtime games. So the league prepared all of us for this, and now, you know, I haven't looked where anybody's seated or where they're playing, and I won't, because I really don't care. I don't have time to put my bracket together.
Cal, you obviously made a reaction when North Carolina got the third 1 seed from the ACC. What do you feel about one conference getting 3 1 seeds?
That's what it is. It is what it is. We just, that's how we felt. That's what it is.
More guys.
Tennessee got that spot.
There's, who's he? He plays somebody in the,
Cincinnati. In Columbus.
oh, no, who would they, oh, okay. I'll call him and say, I've had to do that a few times. As a matter of fact, against you, when he was in Texas.
John, you watched it with North Carolina, they're the 1 seed in the regional.
I
That's a
haven't
long
watched
way
them
away,
since we
but,
played. I haven't watched them. Guys, look, I watched Alaska, The Last Frontier, Life Below Zero. Anybody watch those? And the whole time I'm telling my wife, I can do that. She's like, "Dude, can't do that." Building Off the Grid. Anybody watch that? I'm giving you stuff that really help your culture, culturally, that you can. No, I didn't watch the Top Chef episode. Even that episode, I haven't. I don't have time for that. But, so I'm not watching other teams. I got to watch my own team, and I got to watch the opponents we're playing. And I like to have a life, so I may turn on a game for 5 minutes and watch it. I think I watched the Duke North Carolina game for about 3 minutes in the first half, and Duke Carolina, I think I was like, wow. And then they told me what the score was. I said, how in the world did that happen? But I didn't watch. But Carolina's playing good. Point guard's playing good. They're good. I'm not worried about them. We got to get through Abilene Christian. That's all I'm worried about right now.
One more guys.
You were pretty happy when Belmont got a bid.
Yeah, Rick and I are good friends, Coach Bird, and they let us use their gym again, and we talked about it. And I said, you know, what you've done, you deserve to be in this thing. And, you know, I said, you should be at large. But what happens is all of a sudden all these bubble teams start popping up. And if you're Belmont, you're like, you know, what did this do? You know, they deserve to be in it. Who wants to play them? I mean, go ahead. They're going to take 33s. They're going to fly and run their stuff and execute. I don't want to play them either. That's not a good one to play.
Abilene shoots 30% from three. You think they'll shoot that against you guys?
How many threes do they take a game?
They made like 240 out of 600. Stand up.
We'll save it for Wednesday. All right, guys. Guys, couple things. There's leftover food if anyone wants to go in there. If not, I just ask you to exit around this way. We'll send a credential email out this evening. It's a Thursday game. It's going to be a quick turnaround, so please look that tonight if you're hoping to go. And then